So I spoke to a lot of you today. I first want to show it off because I couldn't speak to everybody. Whoever is doing work in marketing or sales, can you raise your hand so that I know? Okay, nice. Okay, for the others, I'm sorry if I'm going to bore you. 15 minutes, you're going to bear with me, okay? So, yes, I will be speaking about something that's pretty specific for marketing and sales, and it's related to lead scoring and the lead process and a lot of other stuff. So again, bear with me with the notes. Simo will be nice and will send you everything if you want to explore it. But case context. So what does lead generation mean? This means whatever you're a business, you're looking for other clients, they come for your website. This is called inbound. You marketers know what I'm talking about. So I've been consulting for the past 10 years. I've been doing automations. Before I was doing them into HubSpot, which if you use HubSpot and you're a marketer or sales, you know that it was kind of, it was breaking here and there, and you had to talk to a developer and, write a couple of codes for like push pull requests and maybe some API stuff. And the cool thing about n8n, I feel like right now, is you can do that yourself. I'm not saying, kick your developer out. They're amazing. I love you guys. But I can save time and not ping them about this simple process that I'm going to walk you through today. So the case study that I'm going to walk you through today is related to a client of mine. Sorry, I haven't used that in a very long time. Anyway, to a client of mine who has been struggling with HubSpot. So I've been doing HubSpot for 8 years. It's kind of expensive. Lately, it's a little bit of a pain in the ass. Can you say that word? Anyway. So the client didn't really have the budget for that. They wanted me to build a CRM, which I know is very trendy right now, but they wanted the simplest possible thing. So simple process, a lead flow, whatever happens with the new clients, right? So I have this case here. There was a lot of salespeople into the team. They were spending some time. I will zoom in so that you guys can see it. So the team is small. The team is 3 reps and 1 manager. They're kind of doing everything manually. They forgot to fill HubSpot. They forgot to follow up. The super typical sales thing, at least in my experience. So the go-to-market stack that they were using is apart from HubSpot. They had Gemini installed. They had everything that's kind of like related in there. You can see also Slack. They didn't want to use Teams for some reason. So they had a problem, and that problem was they spent so much time into writing emails. They were chasing context of different, B2B businesses. They didn't have. They spent like 15 hours per week, they told me at least, about writing emails. Whatever that means, I told to them that I think that's too much time, and we started thinking about, since their HubSpot was, going out, they didn't have the budget for it anymore, that we were going to try to do something with n8n. And I built this into 6 hours. I did talk to them for a day before that to capture everything into that process, to figure out what they want to do in there, to figure out how the team works and everything. So I'm going to go through a little bit over that right now, and we're going to try it out, and then we're going to talk about some problems that might arise. So, a lead fills a form, very standard marketing thing. We normalize the leads data. What that means is in n8n, I'm going to open it up so that you guys can see, there's a mapping into fields. So I've heard a couple of times lately from marketers, this is super hard to do, this is so technical, I'm not used to it, I'm used to like super standard Marketo or Salesforce or HubSpot or something else. But I beg you to try it out because it's just a little bit hard in the beginning, and then it's faster, it's cheaper, it's better. So you map out the fields. What that means is when somebody fills a form, they go into a specific context. If there's some problems in there with the data, they get fixed from n8n, and then you have our clean data. That's the first step after the form submission. After do that, I don't know if you know, but a lot of companies and a lot of like third-party integrations from HubSpot and Salesforce and everything do kind of like a base score. What that means is they capture some information on the company, they do whatever that budget is, and they tell you if this lead is hot or cold. Which means if it's hot, then there's a big business opportunity. If it's cold, it's probably not a good fit for the business, and you should still see them, but probably it's not going to happen. Then we do that in here. I did some agent thing with, of course, with Claude. My husband told me that this is a very shitty code thingy, but he said it works, so he forgives me. He's a developer. But it works. What that means, I've given some weights onto some of the industries I work with. For example, I'm really good with healthcare, so I'm going to get a better score for a healthcare lead. And then after that, it's added to a sheet because that's what they wanted for, again, I told you 6 hours that I built this. A better situation would be a real database. Then we wait a little bit because sometimes Gemini doesn't like too much data into it. And then 2 things we're doing. First one is scrape info. This means whenever you get a lead or a company, it will gather some info for the company, it will tell you if it's a good fit, it will get the website, it will get the offering, something that usually a sales rep does. So it doesn't sound like it takes that much time, but it actually does, especially if you get a lot of leads. Second one is you get that info and you write an email. And a note here, human in the loop always. At least this is my approach. It's better to draft an email, it will save you time, but of course double check it, see if everything's correct, see if it's in your voice and everything, and then hit send. And then we do have a Slack integration as well. So a couple of things to note here, and I'm going to run the workflow and you're going to see how it works. So integration-wise, we do have now a credential for Gemini. I do have also a credential for Slack, for Sheets. So those credentials are built into n8n as well. So it's automatically getting everything in there. A couple of things to note. This is not a case study that will work for everybody. They wanted to use a very simple type of thing that they wanted to verify if n8n was going to be for that. So this could be updated with whatever you're using. If you're using Typeform for forms, if you're using something else for forms, maybe Tally also, they have an integration. So that's something to know in. So let's kind of see how this works. Because I know I've been talking a lot and you haven't kind of seen everything. I'm at versions and I don't know how to hit versions. There we go. When I hit execute, you're going to see a form. Now I'm going to pretend I'm a really big businesswoman. I'm going to fill everything. I don't know, maybe this one.
Don't see it.
Oh, no? Okay. Let me do that again. Thank you for telling me. Okay. Wait. Perfect. Nice. We see it now. So I fill form. I fill some email. Choose an industry, healthcare, budget, something like this. And I hit send. This can be done in any type of form. We go into n8n to see what happens with the workflow. Then right now it's scraping the data for the company in there. I've put an HM because it's a company everybody recognizes. I don't support their business practices of doing stuff in China and Thailand, but forgive me right now. So we go into the lead table. Everything's in here. This can be done with Google Sheets and everything and Google Forms, but the client wanted something else. They wanted to use the n8n in Typeform. We do have an email right now that the sales can see, but it actually has the specific challenges I've written in there. This is actually an agent that I've written in there. I've given it a role. There's a very big list of things that I've put that I wanted to write as. Sorry, I'm kind of blind. Okay, so there's a lot of things in here that I've written, again with Claude as well. I've pasted a lot of the information as well in here. I've given it structure, what type of grading, everything that I wanted to have. It's like a document, or if you're teaching a new agent with context, there's a lot of context. Then we put it into the sheet, and then it goes into Slack. There we go.
What's your score?
Sorry?
What score did you get on that?
Yes, here you go. So the score in this case, I can elaborate. It's related to how big the budget is, what is the industry, because this client is really good with healthcare. So healthcare gets a really big score. And then also it's related to some stuff they find on the website and if they sound legit or not. So it's gotten a really good score. It's probably because of we chose the biggest budget in there. And then it gets filled into the leads. So you saw how it works, and now I'm going to tell you why the client wanted to do that. And it's because they wanted to save a lot of time on to writing those emails, but they weren't really happy with the agents and the pasting and everything they had to do by hand, and it took so much time. And they had to have like 4 different agents and so on. So they wanted to make it in one place. Potential challenges for this one is if you want to scale it up a lot. So this will work in a small team, but I feel like it will work in a really big team. Other types of things are related to limits into the agents themselves. So it really depends on what types of agent you're using, how much content you're putting into there. I mean, we're not doing code, so it's not going to be that bad, but it's still something to consider. And then a couple of other things to keep in mind, you can read them later, of course, is GDPR. I advise you to not use your personal accounts for such type of things because it's outside of the law. Or you have to ask your clients for permission to use them. But if you have an enterprise account, like a big one and a real contract where they don't actually teach the models with your data, it's fine. Or, it should be fine, but we'll never know. In 20 years, we'll know for sure. So that's the first case study. I want to go through the second part of it. So actually, Simeon had a similar thing that he did with you right now, where I do have, not this one, sorry, this one. Where the sales were sending emails from their personal accounts. So the logic is the same. You link your Gmail into n8n, you filter some rows from that table, and then you send out emails if you approve them. So that's pretty simple. And then the third one, which I feel like a lot of people can relate to, is reporting. I don't know if you guys spend some time on doing some reporting, but it's been a really big part of my job. And usually you think it's fast, but then it takes you hours, and then you have to explain it to stakeholders again or the client. And then people also forget to do lead stuff. So sales, at least in my experience, I'm marketing, don't beat me up. Sales forget to follow up with people, so it's really good to have some kind of reminder to put them through, the whole process. So that's what we did here. We do have, I'm gonna zoom in so you can read what's done. So we do have a reminder that sales sent to the sales to follow up with that lead. We do have another reminder at 48 hours if they haven't sent that email. Then we have a final warning, which is kind of like you should have already sent that to that lead. And then the manager gets alerted if 3 days have passed and the person haven't reached out to the lead. And then they have every Friday a reporting. So this is kind of a very simple, I would say, reporting type of thing. This can be done very much more complicated. and I've done it much more complicated with Monday.com and some other like systems that I've been linking here. So yeah, this is kind of what I did for this client, and a couple of considerations as well. I wanted to present a case which is super simple for everybody to be able to do, and maybe for everybody to be able to understand. This is what I've tried to do here, because I've heard everyone's been super scared from the marketing side of going into n8n, and I feel like it's not that hard. So I'm going to share that to Simon. He's going to put it into the community. You can just click copy, you can just explore it, see what I've written in there, see what are the types of problems that I've seen, because there's types of problems with these types of cases. And yeah, and I hope this was interesting to you, even though if you're not a marketer. Thank you.
So now we will go to the tech side.